Tokenization is a word that we have been hearing for the last roughly 12 to 24 months, and it's only getting louder and louder and louder, and it is from some of the largest players out there. And in this video, I really want to address just how significant this is for XRP, because it will make XRP extremely valuable, but it will also make a lot of XRP holders very, very rich. And I'm going to be outlining exactly why. So with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. Let's talk about this. So this is what I mean, right? Like the biggest players out there, players that people actually know about in the traditional world, like MasterCard, are now launching tokenized card-based bill pay solutions and additional tokenization solutions as well, because this is not the first major endeavor for MasterCard around tokenization, crypto-based, solutions, and I don't think that's going to be the last. And what's crazy about this is, as we really look at what's going on, these types of big players are forging the path to mass adoption through their actual clientele. You got to remember that these players like MasterCard or the big banks, they have a massive amount of users already. So once you start to build a bridge to Web3, aka crypto, all of a sudden mass adoption becomes extremely easy. I want to interrupt the video real quick to let you guys know that I have officially partnered up with Bybit, the third largest crypto exchange out there, to offer you guys exclusive rewards and benefits when signing up with my link down in the description below. There's over $30,000 plus worth of welcome rewards that could be yours right now. All you have to do is sign up, trade, and utilize the exchange. This is one of the best exchanges out there, 24/7 support. Massive amounts of trading volume in a 24-hour period. They have access to pretty much any market that you can think of around crypto. So what are you guys waiting for? Go and sign up utilizing my link down in the description below and have a good time trading. But also, right, we have a lot of these massive areas around the world, like Hong Kong, for an example, through their Hong Kong Monetary Authority, launching new projects. This one's actually called Project Assemble. It's actually partnering with Brazil, Thailand as well for tokenization. Now, we know that Hong Kong is tapped in with Ripple. We know this going all the way back to 2023. This was the first major, big news announcement around Ripple with tokenization. It was Hong Kong Monetary Authority. They're looking for retail CBDC use cases. This is, of course, with Ripple. They were looking at tokenized real estate. Remember that, global real estate is a well over $300 trillion asset class in itself. But if we look at this, okay, this is with major central banks. This is through a lot of projects. We actually have Project Assemble. It's being linked with Project Drex. We also have Project Son as well. This is with the Central Bank of Brazil and the Bank of Thailand. But this is definitely interesting because it is still furthering, the idea of tokenization. They're still focused on tokenization. We already know that Ripple is tapped in with some very large players here as well. We know that Ripple has a big name in Hong Kong. We know that they have a big name in, Brazil as well. So it definitely is something that we could speculate on all day long if Ripple is tapped in here. But the big thing that I really kind of want to look at is just the banks that are actually participating within this as well. And if we actually look at that, right, a lot of these banks and a lot of these players like Hashkey or Standard Chartered, they are, exposed to Ripple in large ways. Standard Chartered invested into Ripple back in 2016. Hashkey just recently announced a partnership with Ripple to further the XRP ledger use cases through supply chains. So, as we look at some of these connections, we have to address the fact that Ripple does have major exposure to almost all of these big players that are pushing tokenization further. But also, right, if we go back in time to February of 2024, this year, Zonix and Ripple partnered to bring a multi-asset tokenization onto the XRP ledger. Now, I see a lot of people asking me in the comments saying, how is tokenization going to affect XRP? And is it even going to affect XRP? The answer is yes. Think about it like this. What has caused Bitcoin to go up? The simple answer to that is just people buying, selling, and trading it. And if we think about that, that is simply a network effect. If we're talking about network effects, and if we're looking at tokenization being potentially a multi-quadrillion-dollar market, because You know, the DTCC settles $3 quadrillion worth of securities transactions per year. All right. So if we think about that and we look at 1 trillion, 5 trillion coming to the XRP ledger. Now that's very conservative when we think about Archix saying 30 to 50 trillion by the end of 2025. That's very conservative. And if you have $1 to $5 trillion on the XRP ledger, and by the way, it's $1 to $5 trillion worth of tokenized assets that are not just going to sit there. People are going to buy them, sell them, trade them, maybe even lock in DeFi contracts to earn, yield on these tokenized assets. Now you have a massive financial network effect that is tied to retail, tied to institutions. So if we think about that, and if we're looking at Bitcoin being as valuable as it is today because of retail simply buying and selling and trading it, what does that mean for XRP and the XRP ledger if 1 to 5 to 10 to 10 plus trillion dollars is living on the ledger, being traded 24/7, 365? You have DeFi initiatives also launching around tokenization. Think about the network effect of that. So yes, it directly affects the value of the network, but then you also have XRP itself being utilized heavily around tokenization, transactions, swaps, or even, yield generation. So yes, this will create a massive network effect, making XRP extremely valuable. But also, this is not just the first initiative. We also have Axeler back in February as well. This was for cross-chain communication, but also for RWAs. It's part of a strategic move into tokenizing real-world assets. Also, if we look at a direct quote here from David Schwartz, he said real-world asset tokenization will be the driving force of the blockchain economy, with real estate, commodities, and treasuries and bonds being the leading use cases. Now, outside of this, we also have over here with Archix, Ripple collaborates with Archix to bring hundreds of millions of dollars of tokenized real-world assets to the XRP ledger. And just as I've mentioned in so many videos previously, it starts with the big M, then it goes into the big B, and then it goes into the big T. Millions to billions to trillions. And then after that, we really kind of look at tens of trillions, hundreds of trillions. I don't think that $100 trillion will be on the XRP ledger, but hey, I'd love to be wrong. But as we really look at what's going on here, we are witnessing this industry starting the next major phase. The next major phase is institutions, traditional financial players, all jumping in on the tokenization revolution. And it's just beginning. And also, going back to August, Ripple to allocate $10 million to tokenize US Treasury bills on the XRP ledger. And then more recently, on October 22nd, Aurum launches $1 billion tokenized fund for data center investments on the XRP ledger with Zonix. Like I said, it starts with millions, goes to billions. The next step is trillions. And big shout out to Smoke Dog for this. We have State Street bond market tokenization to reach mass adoption within 12 months. That's right. This space is a ticking time bomb, and it's a bullish one because we do not have a lot of time left to plant our long-term seeds. I'm not talking about the seeds for this bull run. I'm talking about the long-term seeds that will blossom and grow into massive opportunities. We're talking about wealth generation opportunities that will make you extremely rich. We have this is a bold projection from one of the world's leading asset managers, overseeing $4 trillion in assets. State Street is one of the big three, right? You have State Street, Vanguard, and BlackRock. In its October 2024 report on asset tokenization and capital markets, State Street lays out a timeline for how tokenization is set to reshape various asset classes, taking into account factors like product type and trading processes. When State Street makes a call like this, it's worth paying attention. Their research indicates that the bond market, a key area where government and corporate debt is traded, is expected to be the first major asset class to achieve mass adoption of tokenization. Bond markets are foundational to the global economy, influencing interest rates and reflecting economic sentiment. The diagram below breaks down their projections. Bonds are expected to see transformative tokenization impacts within the next year, followed by commodities like precious metals in 2 years. They even forecast longer-term shifts like the mass adoption of tokenized real estate with an estimated timeline of around 10 years. Deep. Now, before I continue, remember that we are already starting to see major initiatives like this on the XRP ledger. It is only a matter of time until we see the XRP ledger adopt it at scale for tokenization. There is no doubt about that in my opinion. People can sit here all day long and speculate, oh, XRP's price performance sucks. Yeah, that's okay. But XRP and the XRP ledger has been around for 10 years right? Over 10 years it's been around, and it's been in the top 10. And on top of that, Ripple, the company that is continuing to push the XRP ledger further because they are utilizing it in heavy ways, they continue to expand rapidly. We could sit here all day long and kick the can down the road saying, oh, the price sucks, the price action sucks. Yeah, it's okay. Listen, Bitcoin's price action at some point in time sucked. There's a lot of things that sucked in time. For an example, Amazon's price action sucked at some points in time. When we think about what's happening in this space technologically, it is extremely important to focus on. And if we look at this, right, we have asset tokenization and capital markets, a primer. Over here, for over 4 decades, State Street Global Advisors has served the world's governments, institutions, and financial advisors with a rigorous risk-aware approach built on research, analysis, and market-tested experience. And as pioneers in index and ETF investing, we are always inventing new ways to invest. Now, they have 4.73 trillion under their care. Over here, they do talk about the impact of tokenization on various asset classes. Figure 3 illustrates how we think uptake will proceed for different asset classes. We see mass adoption being led by bond markets. And if we actually look at this, okay, let me open this up in a new tab. If we see this, we have bonds and commodities. We have relative time to mass adoption. Guys, it's 12 months. Literally 1 year. If we're thinking about how significant this is, all right, we are about to witness a massive shift in this market. I keep telling you guys, you need to focus on the big picture. The players are here. They continue to tell you what is happening. For an example, and this got posted again recently by Cointelegraph. It's a Larry Fink. He already told you, inside of the noise of the Bitcoin echo chamber, we believe tokenization is a technological transformation for financial assets. When these players speak, you need to listen. Every single dollar, every single asset will be tokenized on chain.
We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets. And that means every stock, every bond will have its own, basically, CUSIP. It'll be on one general ledger. Every investor, you and I, will have our own number, our own identification. We could rid ourselves of all issues around illicit activities about bonds and stocks and digital by having a tokenization. But the most importantly thing, we could customize strategies through tokenization that fits every individual. We would have instantaneous settlement. Think about all the costs of settling bonds and stock. But if you had a tokenization, everything would be immediate because it's just a line item. And so we believe this is a technological transformation for financial assets. If you want to talk about voting and voting choice and all the things, if we know every moment who is the owner of that stock and it's now time to vote, every individual who has ownership is identified and they can vote their own shares. We believe the next.
And this is exactly what's happening right now. I mean, even more recently, at Ripple Swell, Archix's Graham Rodford, the CEO, sat down on stage with James Wallace and said, we think every asset will be on chain.
What are your thoughts on the technology, aspect of that and bringing on things like, CSDs into the equation? How do you make these things coexist, but how do you accelerate so you get more benefit?
Yeah, that's probably where I'm a bit more bullish on the adoption of these assets. I mean, we think every asset's going to be on chain. This technology benefits the issuer, the infrastructure, the investor for numerous reasons. So it's inevitable that this is coming. And you mentioned central securities depositories. And for those that don't know, like DTCC, Euroclear, they're kind of the books and records for a lot of publicly traded securities. And every single one of them, Euroclear, Clearstream, DTCC, these guys are looking at tokenization.
So yeah, I mean, as we really look at what's going on, as everyone is asleep at the wheel, the biggest players out there are already forging their path. I want you guys to realize that Ripple and the XRP ledger and XRP are at the forefront of this tokenization revolution. I strongly believe that XRP holders are going to be extremely wealthy, that are preparing to not only plant their seeds for this cycle, but also plant their seeds for the long-term path ahead. And with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.